Hey guys, what's up? Gonna work on another paint here today, just to keep showing you guys, um, kind of what we're doing here with the custom number files and etc. etc. I believe this is Mike Lee's paint. If not, it's gonna be a little bit embarrassing. I don't think he has Trading Paints Pro, so I'm not sure if he's gonna use custom numbers. But I'm gonna make a couple of layers here for him anyway. Just see if he see if he wants to use it or whatever, but either way you can learn some tips. So pretty much what we're doing here is we've pulled random paint off of Trading Paints, and there are some things that are great about it. There's some things that maybe don't fit perfectly. There are things like Martin Truex Jr.'s name being on the paint. I'm going to fix that today. The pit box colors aren't right. Small stuff like that. But, it can make a big difference in a paint. I got a little music on in the background today. So hopefully it won't be so boring when I get a little quiet to concentrate. But, yeah, let's get started and check it out. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to really easily take a few details off of a car that you don't want. And we're going to start with Martin Truex's name. So basically you're going to use the eyedropper tool, or whatever tool your software uses to copy this color. Pretty simple. It's just a left click. I'm going to zoom in here, use a polygon lasso tool, just kind of select around the name. Don't get into any of the black here. Take your brush tool, and just like that, the name's gone. And honestly, it's sort of in that size where you don't have to draw around it if you don't want to. It's just a good safety measure. Also going to get rid of the Joe Gibbs on the nose, because even though Mike Lee is really good, he doesn't race for Joe Gibbs. Yep. Brush. And now it's gone. Alright. So, and one thing I guess I should have added is, I wouldn't make a habit of going in and doing this on people's paints, maybe without getting their permission. It's not a huge deal, but if I'm going to put it out there on a YouTube, I don't think anybody else will see it, but just in case, this isn't a tutorial for how to ruin your paints. This is literally meant for a certain amount of people, and guys who aren't going to re-upload it and try to take credit and try to sell it and etc. etc. So any painters out there, don't get offended. It's not that type of video. So you see right here, we have some details on the Monster Energy thing, which is why I'm just going to copy and paste over this, sort of. I'll show you guys how to do that, because if you draw right over this, you're gonna see those details, those little dots going away, but they're gonna stay there and there, and that's no bueno. But we can fix that. That's not a problem. And I guess we can go ahead and work on that right now. So all I would do in this case, let's go to open, and we would need to open I would need to open a Camry PSD. So that's what we'll do. I'll open up my country crop car. Select. Oh, I'll open the TGA. That wasn't smart. Okay. I'm going to select the front windshield, and we're going to duplicate over to here, and there you go. It goes away, but it looks like it sort of got rid of some of the detail. Let's see if we can figure out why. That's fine. We can So I think that just means that it's on the car anyway, so I think it'll be fine. Let me hit no. And so now we're back up to the point of just grabbing a decal set and duplicating over. There you go, it all fits fine. I think that it looks pretty good myself. Alright. And pretty much for, I'd say, probably like 90% of our guys, this paint is finished. You know, we don't have a lot of guys who are going to run custom numbers, who are going to run their name across, who are going to fill in all these spaces back here. Even though I'm going to. Going to do accurate B-pillars, even though these are super accurate. This is what you would see in real life. Maybe take this JGR off. Because again, Mike is really good, but he doesn't race for JGR yet. He may one day. Just going to file. Let's see, I don't want to get sidetracked. I know what I'll do. So I'll get us a wire layer. Let's put it over here on this. And that'll help me line up names and etc. I'm going to color overlay the whole thing white so that you can see it better. And so now let's put the name on here. So you don't want to come under this layer here, or this line here. This is a curve of the B post here. And it's flat right here, and then it starts to curve down the front of the car. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it's flat here, and then it curves down the front of the car here. So you want to stay, you know, above the Toyota and about to the right there when you're doing a name. There's above the Toyota to about right here. That's where I always try to put the name. So let's see what we can do for old Mike Lee. I don't care for that. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I think this one looks good. We can oversize it a little bit. Start at 36, and we'll just go from here. Just stretch it out, make it a little skinnier. And I think it's going to line up pretty well. Check it out real quick. And I'm going to save its car number. So it's not going to change. Oh, it did change. Did I change this car number? Oh, that's right. Okay, so if I uncheck this, it'll bring the Klondike paint back. Yep. And then, so that's my car. That's not my car number. That's my car underscore my name file. This is my car number file. So, swing around. So it looks pretty good. It's a little too far back. So we're going to move it towards the front of the car a little bit. Because it's smaller. So, But as you can see, you can't even see that Martin Truex used to be on there. You can't even see that JGR used to be right here. So let's go get this buttoned up. I don't think I can do that without checking it, actually. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Duplicate the layer. And I like to do this to get a center because you want it to be exactly on the other side if you can help it. I mean, it's hard to get it exactly perfect every time, but if you can help it, take the extra minute to get it perfect. It's taking a long time. Alright, I'm going to click on the wire here. Make sure we're using this as our bottom line. Looks pretty good to me. Still check both sides just in case. But I think it looks good. Oh no, it's way off on this side. Okay, so again, this side needs to come this way more, which means the other side probably does as well. Yeah, I'm thinking because of the size, how small it is, you could go, you know, you could go way a lot more left than I would usually do. Okay. Oops. There you go. That looks a lot better. Mike Lee looks a lot better. So the next thing I'm going to work on is numbers. I'm going to save real quick here without the numbers. And then we're going to put numbers here all over the car. And I may replace maybe something here. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, but yeah, let's check it out. Alright, so for custom numbers, I went out, got a font that I really like for the 30. And this is a PSD. I'll show you, I usually get these from Big Evil Racing. This website, sorry about that, this website has a lot of great number fonts. If you want to run your own numbers, so you can go, obviously the big 3 NASCAR series. And then also there's a whole section of Darlington retro numbers from all the different years, which is pretty cool. See, these are all the numbers that people used that year. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of different numbers to choose from. See, this one even has a little bit of like a metallic look. That's really cool. And then I'll show you guys if we go into the Cup Series. You have obviously today's car numbers. And then you can also go up here to historical numbers. And here you have a bunch of old school NASCAR numbers. And so, as you can imagine, you can get almost anything, you know, from almost any decade. If you know what number it is, you could probably find it in here. And they're all layered PSD files. So when you open them, they come like this. Let's see, if I drop this folder, I can use any part of this number that I want. Don't have to use this background. Can change the colors to anything I want. So yeah, it's a pretty good tool. One of the best, in my opinion, that the community's come out with. There's usually lefts and rights. So you don't have to worry about slanting, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's really cool. So for this, I'm not going to use the black backdrop because you're not going to be able to see it anyway. So I'm not going to use the black backdrop. And I'll just take this out. So I'm going to duplicate the whole folder over to Mike Lee's paint. Find where I put it. There it is. See, it's huge. There's plenty of room for, you know, editing the paint. Let's make it smaller. So from here I'm still going to adjust some more. So what I try to do, the 18 that I run is a little bit big. So I run it from this line here. Turn this off. I run it from this line here to this line here. Now most NASCAR numbers are going to run from here to here, which means, see, his number's still pretty big. It's going to put him at about like this. Okay. And to follow this body line, you're going to want about a 2-degree slant. And it looks kind of weird, but on the car, in the paint, it's going to look really nice. I'm going to move it to the front a little bit, down. So I'm trying to kind of center it up with this center line here. It's not really a center line, but it's just kind of a line that I've arbitrarily picked. Alright, and then I'm going to change this background color that's flashing to the same orange that we're using here. So I'm going to color overlay, select this orange. Okay, and now you could use the layer behind it because it would it would hang down a little bit more, but it would sort of look like this. But I don't necessarily think that it needs it. I think that it looks fine this way. I like that you sort of lose it here and it sort of blends in. It looks like part of the paint. So I'm going to leave it be, and I'm going to work on the left side. So much the same. We're going to duplicate this left side. And the first thing you're probably going to be thinking is that it needs to go that way, because he's not the 0, half, 8. So the first thing you have to do is transform, rotate it 180. Take this layer off, because I don't want to use it. And then it's about just making it similar to the same size. Probably not going to get it perfect. The templates aren't even laid out perfect. But use your line here and here. Use your middle as this arbitrary line here. And then you want to slant it to the front of the car, which is going to be 2 degrees, except you're going to go negative 2 degrees. So you always want the slant to go with this body line, towards the nose, not, you know, you don't want it to rotate this way, you want it to rotate this way, towards the bottom. Same here, I didn't rotate the number this way, I rotated it towards the bottom. Okay, we're going to cover overlay this one to the orange as well. And obviously I think this number is still a little bit big. Oops. Make sure you get the whole folder. And I think that's going to be a lot closer. Now let's see how it looks. Okay, and so now, I mean, to me this number is small. Let's see how it looks on the other side. Yeah, to me these numbers are too small. But what you could do is you could center it up a little bit, which we will do. So we will turn the wire on. We'll move it all this way. And it looks a little bit better right there. Oops. So I'm actually going to make them a little bit bigger. I think it's just flat out too small. Not much bigger. I'm just going to try to get it up to this line here. I'll show you kind of what we're... See, Truex went to a little bit smaller number this year. It's still bigger than what I'm running, but see, I actually prefer this look, but with the huge number on the side, which is more like what I'm going for. This is Harpoon Design. So yeah, I believe he made this paint, and if he did, thank you, brother. Like I said, I'm not trying to step on your paints at all here, or take credit for them. But yeah, he definitely made his numbers a bit bigger. So we'll do that. We'll make our number from here to here. And I think because of this, I think we can do it and not lose any quality here. Now let's see how it looks now. I know I'm gonna like it more. This would really be personal preference though. If you like the smaller number, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty close to... I think this side looks really good. This side, it almost looks like it just needs to be taller, maybe. Something like that. Try this one. So like that, so this might be a little too tall this time. But it looks better for sure. Same here. I would actually need to probably make this a little fatter and shorter, but as you can see, this is the most tedious part, is you know, trying to get this exactly where you want it. And I'm gonna leave it alone after this one. Get a little fatter here, just a tiny bit shorter. Alright. So then now we'll move on to the top of the car. I'm going to use the left number, I usually do, for the top. And duplicate this back over here. And now you don't even need this file anymore. Don't ever save it in case you make changes like I did. And then that way you'll get the same exact PDS over and over again. You want to download it. Rotate the number 180. And then so when you have a paint, you know, that's like this one, it's pretty well done. You can sort of just try to line it up like you would in real life. I think that's pretty good. 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 See, I think it looks pretty good. And I think maybe just this slant maybe isn't good, you know, with this paint or whatever. Or maybe we're so used to seeing it a certain way that it doesn't look right. This side looks okay to me. I don't know why the other side doesn't, but I'm not sure. But it really doesn't matter. It's just a tutorial anyway. So the next number goes right here, up under this brake light, if you will. That would be right here. And I always use the left number for this. So I'm going to hold Alt on the entire folder here. And it didn't do what I wanted it to do. That's alright. I'll just duplicate the whole group. Over here, 180 again, and now this is going to need to be relatively small, just right up under this brake light. And when I turn on the wireframe, you can see there's even like a sort of like a flat spot right here-ish that it goes. You can kind of see this box is kind of what I use, just right in here somewhere. And then as long as it doesn't look huge. Yeah, and so to me that's pretty good. And then the tough one is going to be on the nose right here. And this is one that it can take a while to get lined up perfect. Let's see what I can do. First try. So it goes right in here. And it's smaller than all of this. Seeing that you don't want it inside this curve here, then it might be a little small. Okay, and then I'm going to change the color overlay to black so that you can see it. You can clearly see the outline now. Now let's see how I did. Looks like it might be a little small. Yeah, it's a little small, but that's something that, you know, maybe I would roll with anyway, just so you don't have to spend all day on it. But yeah, guys, I mean that's how you add numbers to your car, custom numbers. I still think it looks good. I'd like to work on this side, you know, if I was gonna actually give it to someone, because I don't think Mike Lee has Trading Paints Pro anyway. But you know, it's just a tutorial on how we're doing it all. And like I said in my previous video, if you have any questions, please ask them. We'd be happy to help. Um, yeah, I'd actually like to see this maybe over here and a little bigger. So just real quick, just for the sake of doing it correctly, I'd like to see it about right here. And let's see, it's gonna be a good bit bigger. Yeah, it's much better right there. So that's probably actually how I would leave it. And yeah, so there's your Gary Ridgway, Mike Lee Cup car. I may do a couple more, maybe without so much talking though, just the music in the background and just putting some work in on them. But yeah, there it is, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Catch up with you next time.